All right. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Brian Banks from Your Career Day. Can you give us your name?
Yes, my name is Destiny Riley.
All right. Where's your hometown?
I am from Durham, North Carolina.
All right. And what is your career title?
So right now I'm working as a junior motion graphics designer for the LA Clippers.
Okay. And what does being a junior motion graphics designer for the LA Clippers entail?
So it's a little bit of it's a long story kind of. So particularly I animate for the in arena. So there's like the Jumbotron, the ribbons.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything that you really see in arena, I kind of have my hands on and animate. And then secondly would be like promotional and marketing materials for like social media, email
Hmm.
templates, like anything that kind of like we send out that touches the fans or
Yeah.
just like marketing stuff.
Okay. All right. Cool. And what type of education is required for this position?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure if it's a requirement to have a bachelor's. I have a
Hmm.
bachelor's, but and that was a requirement for the position. But I'm pretty sure, like, if someone is super talented, has a great portfolio, they can find their way into the industry.
Okay. All right. Now, what type of person is best suited to do what you do?
You definitely have to like be a problem solver.
Mhm,
There are a lot of things that come across my desk where I'm like, okay, this is what the person's asking for. How can I best suit it in a timely manner and also like give my all? So that's one thing is being a great problem solver.
mhm,
Secondly, you have to be like super flexible. Working for, an NBA team, there's times where like, a player might break a record, at a super late
mhm,
game. So you have to be flexible to be able to get, those assets out in a timely manner. And, there's things that come up that you might not be prepared for, but like it's just
mhm.
the way of the game pretty much.
Okay. Now, what was your road to your current position? How did you get here?
That's a good question. I've always been like an artsy kid. Like I knew I was gonna probably be like a professional artist when my grandmother, she signed me up for like these bi-weekly like art kits and I would
Mhm,
and do like random things like making jewelry or, you know, doing like little ceramics. So that kind of like started, my progression as an artist. And then I was actually a theater kid
okay,
in high school,
mhm,
like technical theater, so like designing and building sets, painting, all that type of stuff.
yeah,
Um, and then for college, so I made a short film, and then I was like, oh, okay, I want to be a filmmaker. So I
mhm,
applied to all film schools right out of high school. And I went to school for my first year to be a filmmaker. And then, like, during that process, I was like, okay, I feel like, I got the basics of storytelling and I just didn't want to limit myself to only being a filmmaker. So I
uh-huh,
was like, what's the next thing? So I was like really thinking through with my mentors and I was like, okay, art school. I go to art school and just expand my horizons and
mhm,
learn how to really think as an artist. So I think that was honestly one of the best decisions I ever made so far in life was not limiting myself as an artist because I think anyone can tell a story, but it takes a true artist to really think like an artist.
right,
Um, so, and then I started working as a creative assistant, and that's where I was really challenged to use my design skills that I learned in school
yeah,
in the professional world. And then from there, I'm a motion designer, and it's great because I've always was like, okay, I want to get back into like what really makes me happy as an artist, and that was like,
mhm, okay, all right, cool. So I know this is a new position for you, but what makes this job fun, interesting, or exciting, or all the above?
that's a great question. I would say mainly it's the passion behind it.
Mhm,
Like I said, when I was younger, I didn't really know much about the art world. I didn't really have like mentors or people who were, professional artists doing this thing like and making money. There's always that stigma behind it as like, oh, you're gonna be a starving artist. So I
Right.
was like scared to really like think through that whole process. So I would say the passion behind it because I definitely, when I was younger, wanted to be an animator. I didn't know what steps it took to be an animator. I didn't know what education process. I didn't know anything. I just knew like I want to be an animator. So getting back, to my roots a little bit and actually, doing something that deep down I know like wakes me up more in the morning
Mhm.
definitely is like a driving factor. And also like working for an NBA team, you get like a lot of fun things. Like I got to go to media day, meet the players, see what actually goes on. And then the season is starting, like, games. I got to travel a little bit already with the company. So it's just starting, but it's super fun and exciting.
Yeah, no, for me, that would be cool. I'm a big NBA fan, so uh, you got a great position in my eyes because being close to the game would be great.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah. Now, what advice would you give to someone that might want to follow in your footsteps?
I would say definitely staying authentic to yourself. I've been in a lot of like places, like not even in this job, but just in general, where I felt like the oddball out.
Hmm.
Just like the industry is, it's not really suited for people like us all the time. So you have to like truly be comfortable with yourself because there might be situations or even like in school, it might be like classrooms or environments where you feel a little out of place. But as long as you stay true to yourself, you can definitely see it through your work. And also I would say like constantly like updating your portfolio. Like
Yeah.
the key factor for me with getting this position was my portfolio. Like I've never worked in the sports industry before
Hmm.
this. So there were things in my portfolio that I thought was like not even worth adding to it, but they saw, potential in it and was like, oh, you can do that for that project, then you definitely can do it for something that we need. Um, um, and I would say just like try to keep learning. That's something that I had to kind of force myself to do. Out of because I've been out of school for almost 2 years now. It's a
Yeah.
long time. But I had to really like, get on myself and challenge myself to keep learning because like, you know, that studious, thing that's inside of you actually helps you grow. And there are times where like things come across my desk. I'm like, I don't know what that is or how I can do that. But it's so simple to just go on YouTube or find someone who you know is doing it.
Hmm.
Like sit down with them and just, observe what their process is like. So try to keep learning, like even when I'm like probably retire, I'm gonna still be like trying to learn and see how I can brush up my skills just because like it's important, especially in this industry because there's always new softwares coming out, there's always new trends. So you just wanna, freshen up your skills.
Yeah. Great advice. Well, Destiny, I really appreciate you being with us and sharing your knowledge. Best of luck to you, and we'll see what happens this season. Can't wait.
Thank you.